Hello everyone, and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. So today we have the ILCTP NMG League match Dark World Division between Benteezy and Fricker22. So on the commentary we will have Relkin today. So thanks everyone and have a great race.
Thanks, Alkaline, for the intro. Alright, so we have the Dark World side of the NMG League. The Swiss round 1 got Fricker22 on the right and Benteezy on the left. Both guys have, I know Benteezy has like a 124.55 PB and Fricker's got like a 124.40 something PB or something like that. It's been a while. I actually do not remember off the top of my head what Fricker's PB is. Anyways, Fricker22 might be a pretty familiar name for a lot of people in the A Link to the Past community. He's the guy behind the voiceovers on the tutorial series, the FMG tutorial series. So big shoutouts to him, Mugamod, and Greenham for the awesome tutorial series they put together to make a lot of our lives easier when trying to learn how to play this game fast. Alright, and we are off. That's easy on her hand. I've hung out with him a couple times, so I know the dude decently well. He's been around the community for quite some time as well. Like 4 or 5 years, I want to say. So you're going to see right here off the start that both runners are mashing text here. You can actually mash with all 4 of the face buttons on most every text box in the game. Except for certain ones that either involve a choice, or they are at the last text box of a string of text boxes. For those ones, you typically will see runners on their input displays. They'll be matching L and R, just because that gives them the freedom to get ready to get their next inputs ready on the face buttons and D-pad. Talking to Uncle here in the escape sequence, getting our sword and shield. Yeah, these courtyards go for each runners. Guard chased after both of them, but they managed to walk around him, so good reaction to that RNG. You'll see on Fricker's side, as he was avoiding that aggro guard there, he was doing what was called pumping. So if you repeatedly tap certain buttons, and depending on which direction you're moving, you can actually make Link move at a faster rate that you would normally do by just holding diagonal or straight up. Link's movement alternates between 2 and 1 pixels per frame, and doing tapping on the diagonals, basically, while moving up or left, will reset that 2-1 alternation to back to 2 each time. So if you can do that in a good rhythm, you can actually speed up your movement. It looks like Fricker's having some issues in these key guard rooms here. Not too much trouble, though.
What the hell? Went like further than I normally do, and still. Whatever, dude. Oh my behind.
So Fricker's had some issues here in the front of escape with a couple of key guard rooms, and then looks like he may have taken a hit in ball and chains, so he's down to 1 heart. So he might be picking up himself a heart pot here in this next room if he's not feeling like he wants to risk losing a lot of time in the dark rooms. Some people might say in a race situation, better to lose like half a second versus 20 seconds, if you can help it. If you're doing a run, though, you probably just YOLO it, just because it's a run. Yeah, see, he's picking up the pot just to be safe. Benteezy, though, having a decent escape, coming out unscathed, looks like he hasn't taken a hit of damage yet, so he is on decent escape pace. Alright, let's see how the key rack room goes for Benteezy. This guy can be elusive. Alright, so not the best RNG, but he had decent RNG nonetheless. Same with Fricker. Alright, good stuff.
That's getting hit by everything in this.
Alright, these rats are very awful to deal with. But thankfully, both runners made it through without too many hitches. And we have finished escape over on Benteezy's side. A 53. That is... It's usually pretty good. I know, like... I think the best... Like, the time you are looking for is somewhere, like, around 52, 53 to have a decent escape time. If you're really good, though, you could probably crack sub 50. Alright, Benteezy is skipping the sand cart. I think he typically does this in his runs. And Fricker is also skipping the sand cart, down a heart and a half. So, Benteezy, with yet another advantage here. Fricker will need to pick up at least 1 heart in order to be able to do the damage boost into the big key get in the Eastern Palace. There are a couple of opportunities in Eastern Palace where you can get a heart. There's a pot. There's actually 2 pots. And there's actually some extra safety pots that are for rare occasions where you go into the room with a heart and a half or less, where the big key is. Okay, guys, making it past the worst Octorok screen right there. That screen can give you lots of bad RNG if you try and risk it, try and make it past some of the Octoroks that are stopping in weird places. They might shoot a rocket at you at an opportune time, so they both handle it decently well. Fricker handling that RNG there with the statue and the Octorok there pretty well. The Octorok thankfully stopped in place for him, and so he was able to boom both the statue and the Octorok and able to make safe passage through. Now, I've not been paying too close attention to what each of the runners' drops are at this point in terms of the rupee drops. I did see a blue rupee drop, I think, on Fricker's side. So I know he's at least 1 rupee through the pack. Alright, we'll see what Fricker does here. So he is picking up this first heart here, so... he could opt to skip the heart in this one too, but I feel like with looking for drops, you typically throw the boomerang here, just in case. Yeah, he's throwing the boomerang, so yeah, he's picking up that heart as well. Alright, now I'm interested to see here. Okay, so Benteezy does the strat where you have to hope for an arrow drop in the final 2 rooms before the boss of Eastern. Or else you will lose a lot of time on the boss. I see Fricker opted for the safer strat of picking up that arrow pot, which ensures that you will not get, basically, I guess, hecked over by, drop RNG. Yeah, Airy. I think he always does it. I think he just tries to YOLO pretty hard early game. Alright, nicely done there with the damage boost. Let's see if Fricker can do it himself. Okay, he had to walk back, but he still got it pretty cleanly, other than the walk back to the Popo. Not. You also have to deal with a little bit of RNG here with the Stalfos and which direction they walk from the big chest. They both had to slash at least once, so it's not the best RNG. Setting up pretty nicely for that Igor kill in the Gifted with Greenies room. Fricker using the menu buffer to set himself up and line himself properly for that kill. Alright, so what you're going to watch here on Benteezy's side and hope that he gets at least one arrow drop from the red Igors in these upcoming rooms. If not, he will lose quite a bit of time unless he picks up a safety arrow pot in this room. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, he can't pick up that. He already picks it up to begin with. Alright, so he got his drop, so he is good to go. He actually got, I'm sorry. I actually was thinking about the other arrow pot. No, he got the drop in one of the last possible spots he could have got, so he's good to go. Although he did mess up this fight, so he's gonna have to shoot a couple of extra arrows here. In fact, he is out of arrows. Both runners not having the best Armos fights, but both making it through nonetheless. Benteezy with a 10:53 leaving Eastern, and Fricker gonna be leaving with like a 11:03 leaving Eastern. Yes. Benteezy, however, does not have any arrows, so he's going to pick up every single pot in Desert and probably hope for a drop at some point along the way. Because 0 is not a very good arrow count to have this early. We talked to Sahashalo with the green pendant in hand, and we get ourselves the Pegasus boots to make this game arguably a lot more fun to play. Yeah, Ari, that is a good point. There is an arrow pot right before the boss of Desert, Lenmolus. You could opt to grab that if you're really feeling low on arrows. Both runners pulling off the spin speed technique immediately upon getting the boots. So if you charge your sword up, release it, and the very next frame after releasing, you tap the A button. You do not hold it, you tap it. And so runners will like to do what they call a sweeping motion from the B to the A button, and that arms spin speed. And so when you do, you touch a manual staircase and walk off it cardinally down or up, then you will activate spin speed, and you will go really, really fast at the movement that the boots normally allow you to move in any direction you want, basically. It doesn't look like Fricker got it there. Yeah, he has. If you see dust kick up, then you did not get spin speed properly. They both guys went for the unholy spin speed at the books, at the book grab, the library. I know some people like me probably don't go for that one just because of how little time it saves. If you can, like the risk reward, I guess, is what I would like to say. You might have seen Fricker do a specific movement there on those two screens just then. That is to aggro that left blue guard early. That way he is out of your way when you dash below him. Most runners like to menu here for a menu buffer to the book so they can avoid dashing in the water, because dashing in the water is slow. Oh, is Ben gonna bonk? Okay, I was gonna say Ben looked like he might have bonked there, but he was the very far, the rightmost place you could still not bonk on, up those desert staircases area. I did forget to mention this, but Benteezy did get a red rupee drop in Eastern. That is going to allow him to not have to worry so much about grabbing some rupees later on after we beat the third dungeon, beat Tower of Hera. Oh, getting a little not such a great dash line there around the Beamos. Had to readjust. Interesting thing you can do with that torch is you actually don't have to bonk on a torch to get the key off. You can just nudge it and hit the wall. Oh, getting hit there in the pre-big key room. All right, so Benteezy didn't get the best RNG from the cannonballs. If you hear an early cannonball shot, that means you got bad RNG. Can't really hear. I don't have the audio on Fricker's side, but he looks like he got the exact same RNG. So both runners get the same RNG in that room. Looks like Fricker handled it a little bit better than Benteezy. Did not get hit on the way out of the big key room. So you might see Fricker pick up some extra rupees here. Okay, he's not. Okay, never mind. He's opting not to pick up rupees there. If you're below 9 rupees at this point, it's usually advised to pick up the 5 rupee pot in this room with all the pots and the BMOS. It can help make the segment after Hera a little bit faster, just because the rupees you would have to grab at that point will be less out of your way. Alright, both runners successfully getting the final spin speed of the desert segment. It's a little scary, but you can use a menu buffer to make it less scary. Alright, so the back of desert. So we got this room right here, the what's called Popo Genocide. You're wanting to look and see what kind of RNG you're getting, and Benteezy, I'm not sure if he could have done much about that one. He got hit by the BMOS, which made it a little harder for him to deal with. Fricker got pretty good RNG, so he was set in that room. Oh, Benteezy missing a key dash there. If you don't nudge against the torch, or if you're not flush against the pots when you dash, then you will bonk on that key door, usually. Okay, so Ben did do the thing that Ari suggested and pick up that arrow pot here before Landmo. He is going to need to be real careful not run into a boss, run to the Landmo here in this fight. Okay, he's actually gonna play it safe and pick up these. Okay, I think I agree with that for this race. Alright, here comes the Landmo fight. So this is very, very much a reaction RNG based fight. You want to try and get 4 arrows in each of these 3 Landmolas as fast as possible. Each of these guys will move in a random pattern each cycle to come out of the ground. And you can predict where they move in some sense, depending on where they start. Looks like Benteezy got himself a 3 cycle. That is a really good fight, and Fricker looks like he got a 4 cycle. So it's all basically just about predicting their movement and reacting to where they go, and standing in the proper spots, which can be difficult with D-pad movement. And you want to make sure you're not firing arrows while there's already arrows on screen, or else you won't be able to fire an arrow. Sometimes you can offer sword slashes whenever they are really close to death, because you can save arrows that way. Okay, so Benteezy coming out with 10 arrows, so he is looking way better coming out of Desert than he did coming out of Eastern. Alright, so this screen coming up here, this is the only fake flipper in the game that we do. Fake flippers is where you screen transition at the last possible moment where you could go pop into the water and you screen transition, which is skipping the animation where Link gets stuck in the water and has to be reset to back to where he was standing on land. So both runners successfully made it to that portal without getting hit. If you get hit there on that screen where that portal is, you will get soft locked and you will have to save and quit. But neither runner dealt with that issue, so we are continuing the run on both ends. Neat little tech here. With the old man in tow, we can actually walk slightly across that pit and regain our normal movement speed. So if you are just slightly against the edge of that pit while walking, you will have normal movement speed. In fact, I think you move faster, I want to say, than normal movement speed. But either way, you move faster than you would with the old man normally. The old man makes you move, I want to say, 1 pixel per frame no matter where you walk. Oh no, Benteezy, he didn't... Oh man, Dead Rocks. What an enemy. So yeah, that is a dead rock. Arguably one of the worst enemies in this game. You cannot kill them in this run. They are always annoying and pesky because they like to get in your way. And if you hit them and they lock in place, where a place you can't get through them, then you have to wait there. So, yeah, not fun. There are some ways you can deal with bad RNG. You can just kind of walk in a different way on that screen to knock them in a different direction. But usually if you're just walking diagonal down right and holding your sword out, you won't get stuck. But looks like it didn't exactly work out that way. Alright, so here we are in Tower of Hera. Benteezy, it looks like both runners are actually going for Boom Hera today. I guess what they both normally do. So what you're going to see them try and attempt here is to hit this switch and dash onto the pegs in one fell swoop. If executed correctly, the pegs will rise up again and they will stop on the pegs, and the pegs will give them iframes. You see Benteezy pulling it off there successfully. Good job. This does not lose time as long as you do not hit the switch accidentally and are not on the pegs. It's a pretty difficult trick, honestly, because you have to hit 4 or 3 frame perfect inputs all the same time, basically. So, like 4 or 3 simultaneous button presses, and it's a doozy. And if you get used to it, though, like hats off to you. I think that's one of the harder tricks in this game. Yeah, Fear Agent pointing out the accidental map check there. I believe it was on Fricker's side. If you hit the X button, then you will pull up the map in most cases. So you do not want to be hitting the X button while you are moving around. Both runners making it through the beetle room there in Hera decently. You want to walk down to the right, walk down / left to hit the first beetle in the switch, and then throw the other 2 pots. Throw the pots at the other 2 beetles. And you want to pick up that bomb for this upcoming trick up here in this room. In the petting zoo. Ooh, nice one. Benteezy doing the early bomb jump where you plant the bomb as early as possible and then pick it up and run with it. Or, I mean, walk with it up to the pit area, and you throw it to the left and bounce it off the divider. And you use a menu buffer to position yourself properly. Because you need a menu to the boat anyway. You can use that free menu buffer to make it a little bit easier. And nicely done from Benteezy's side. Fricker doing the other setup where you just drop a bomb and then do a little sword spin technique to line yourself at the very edge of a pit. Okay, so here's Moldorm. We've got to hit this guy 6 times with our master sword. I mean, our fighter sword, excuse me. And what you can do there is what you saw both runners do is on the final hit where he's enraged, you can hold your sword out and back yourself up against the corner as Moldorm is charging at you, and you will not take damage while you are standing there charging up your dash, as long as your sword is held out. While you are dashing, though, there is a chance that you can get hit if the timing is bad or you just get a bad frame roll. But that is a very safe way to get the final hit on Moldorm. Yeah, Fricker had a very nice fight. He saved a little bit of time over there on Benteezy. Ooh, a little bonk there on Benteezy's side. Curious to see if... Okay, so neither runner picks up the arrow pot in this room. That is not... That's not uncommon. That's a very slow arrow pot of all the arrow pots you can pick up. Alright, so you're going to see Benteezy dash into this bird, and then line up for this pickle shot. Oh, he's gonna hit it, shoot another arrow. Okay, not too much time loss, but a little bit of time loss. It looks like Fricker does the bird shot. So the reason for their movement and killing right here is because they want to set up another tree pole where they will get 4 red rupees. Benteezy will have to, both runners will have to pick up all 4 red rupees. Because they do not have 44 rupees currently in their inventory. So both runners will be pulling the next tree from the far right to set themselves up for the optimal rupee grabbing pattern. Both owners pulling the Master Sword. Now right here... Okay, so that is the final kill they need to pull off. That is arguably the scariest part of this segment, is making sure you do not get hit by that bird. If you get hit by that bird, then you have to do a backup tree pull strat. Because it is based on how many kills you get and if you take damage or not. So if you take damage, you get a lesser tree pull. Both runners going for a slightly riskier strat there on that dash. If you are unlucky, that guard will quick turn you and knock you out of your dash, which is not what you want. You want to preserve beams for the beginning of this Aga Tower climb. Oh, I'm about to say, Benteezy actually didn't have quite the best lineup there on his dash near the castle gate. If you were not flush with the castle gate or not 1 pixel to the right of the castle gate, there is a chance you can get hit out of your dash by that guard. And it just so happens that Benteezy did not get lucky there. Alright, first room of Aga Tower, you want to spin this left guy and then shoot 2 arrows and then beam the right guy by walking down a little bit and then doing a spin. The next room you want to... This is very important that you do it this way. You saw both owners execute that there. They beamed both of the very aggro-y guards. They chased right after you as soon as you enter a room. So they're kind of aggro guards. Prize pack guards, I guess is their more common name. So the reason we do that, and we dash into them to kill them, the reason we do that is to preserve the fairy that is in their prize pack for a later segment in the run. Because we take a lot of damage in that later segment, and getting the fairy drop is considered the safe strat. And actually, the best strat, because you can regain your beams later in that segment. In the Turtle Rock dungeon. Ooh, nice double block there from Fricker, adjusting to that RNG pretty well. I guess sometimes if you're not fast enough, then the right guy can throw a spear at you, and you'll have to turn around to block his spear too. Benteezy losing his beams, so he'll have to do this next room without a menu buffer. He executes it well. That room, if you have beams, you can usually come in with a menu buffer. And you can read the RNG at the top right spear guard. And if he is walking to the left, then you need to worry about him first, and you need to lift the right pot first so you can boomerang him to stun him. But if not, though, you can just walk straight down, pick up the left pot, and then throw both the other pot at the key guard. Yeah, I missed that. I'm not sure how Fricker didn't get... I did not see how Fricker was not good on his rupee count. But yes, he is going to have to get 2 rupees at some point before the next dungeon. Alright, so you know this guy right here? He's a bit of an RNG boss. A little bit. Just a little bit. His name's Aghanim. So, he does 5 attacks every cycle. The first attack is always this energy ball you can reflect back and hit him with. The next 3 are a 50-50 shot of either an energy ball or a blue ball, as you see Fricker has gotten like 2 of them now at least. And then the 5th attack is a lightning, that the cycle repeats itself. So, if you do this fight perfectly, the minimum blue balls you can get is 0, and the maximum you can get is 15. So you can clearly see that the blue balls, you can't hurt Aghanim with them. So you kind of don't want those, and there's no way to control that. So you'll often hear runners say this is one of the gatekeepers. If you've had a good light world, sometimes this guy can really gatekeep you. Luckily, that is arguably the worst RNG part of the run, and we're already past it. So from here, it's mostly just execution and reacting to enemy RNG. Alright, so I was not counting exactly how many blue balls each runner had, but Fricker looks like he had less than Benteezy. Which is helpful for Fricker, because he needs to pick up an extra rupee here, so he has a little bit of buffer zone to pick up this blue rupee here from this bonk. Which he's not doing, so I guess he's gonna have to pick up rubies some other way. Okay, he's gonna stun some enemies. Okay, so so when you stun an enemy in this game, they will always drop, and I mean always. Like no matter how you kill them, they will always drop green rupee. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so Fricker is in a little bit of trouble here. He just took 3 hearts of damage. If he wants to get back up to full health, he's going to have to hope that the enemy near the back of Pod is going to drop a heart for him. Otherwise, he will have to do a slower strat on the way to the boss. And you know how we like to go. We like to go fast. Alright, so here's Kiki the monkey. He takes 10 rupees to start walking with you, and then 100 rupees to open a dungeon. If you get hit with Kiki in your hands, he'll run away and you have to go retrieve him. So both runners not getting hit, and both runners making it to the dungeon entrance, and both runners opening up Palace of Darkness. Doontad doesn't like to go fast. You heard it here first. That's why he doesn't have the world record. Alright, so what you're going to be seeing both these guys doing is getting this key, mirroring, getting another key, mirroring, getting the big key, mirroring, and then going to get the hammer and getting a key and then mirroring. So we mirror 4 times in this dungeon. Ooh, nice arrow drop there on Benteezy's side. Probably keeping track of where he was on the drop for that enemy prize pack. Saw that the jelly was going to get in his way, so he decided to beam him to get ready to place the bomb, and he got good RNG with the drop. So heads up thinking there from Ben. Oh, okay, so that was the other thing I was thinking about, is that drop pack. So Fricker got lucky there with the that jelly dropping a heart for him, so now he is in a better position. Now he does not have to rely on this mini helmet sword in the back. So here comes the hammer yump. So what you're going to see is Fricker lining himself up with some pause buffering, menuing, and then doing some sword buffering as well to do some post adjustment. Same thing on Benteezy's side. What you want to see is the least amount of pause buffers, and it looks like oh no, Benteezy! He must have been too high. His initial position must have been too high. Oh man, that's rough. Okay, but it looks like he got this second setup pretty well. All right, so he's good there. Alright, so like I said before with Fricker's health, there are 3 hearts right there, and you want to pick up all of them if you are down by 3 hearts. You will want to have beams for an upcoming room here to save 2 menus. Alright, we got some mimics here. These guys mimic your movement. There is a fast way to do it, and you see Fricker executing it there nicely. You fire 2 arrows pretty much right at the start, and then move the red mimic in your way as you are walking up, firing a second arrow. Then he'll die immediately, and that'll make it so that you could possibly get a drop off of him. Fricker did not get lucky there, so he is down 6 arrows here, leaving Pod. We'll see how Ben does in this room. He's doing the slower strat. Actually, it was still a pretty fast strat. It's not a strat I'm used to seeing, though. He executed it nicely. Alright, here comes the turtle room. You want to flip over all these turtles with 2 hammers. Looks like good RNG helped Fricker there. If you want both those turtles to go up instead of down. And both of them went up, so he had the fast room there. See how Benteezy does here. Okay, so he had one of the turtles go down on the left side, so what you want to do is dispatch of the ones that are already flipped over and then deal with the one that got away. Okay, so Helmasaur. This guy does a lot of damage, so it's a little bit scary. Kind of the Dark World gatekeeper. Oh no, oh boy. This is gonna be a slower fight. Okay. I see, Yoho. Yeah, it's just not a strat I'm used to seeing. I usually see people go for the drop there. Okay, so what you saw both the runners do there is get spin speed. And the same technique we used to go fast in the light world. You can actually use that to extend your hammer's hitbox. So, hammering up is notoriously bad at hitting enemies from above. So when we do a spin speed, though, that extends our hammer's reach. And that is very helpful for a boss like this that does a lot of damage and usually takes a lot longer if there's no other way you can fight him. And Fricker there had a little bit of a slower fight. Did not end up dropping the mask off of Helmasaur there, allowing Helmasaur to get closer to the bottom of the screen, and it is pretty much impossible to hit him in the spin speed state. Ooh. So on leaving this area of the Dark World, you can sometimes get hit by those hopping guys called Ropas. This guy can also hit you. Oh, okay, that was really close. Good stuff. So that's one we like to lovingly call getting lottoed. If you are unlucky, you will get hit out of your dashes. So Fricker making it through that screen unscathed. That's good to see. You'll see him do what's called an item dash, where we hit the dash button and the item button at the same time. With the hammer, we can hammer through pegs without stopping. That makes that screen a lot faster. Alright, Benteezy also making it out of that screen without getting lottoed. See how his hammer dash goes. Walks down a little bit to avoid some bad Ropa RNG, but good nonetheless. Alright, so now we come up to Stumpy. This guy gives us a shovel, and then we go straight to the light world to dig up the ocarina, or flute. Sorry, forget what game we're playing here, it's a flute. My bad, guys. Alrighty, so, if you noticed, on Benteezy's side, I don't know how close you're paying attention, but the warping animation between Light World and Dark World is actually cut off a little bit, depending on your position on the world. The camera's position in terms of the X coordinate. There are ways to set up this kind of quick warp almost every spot in the game. Some are less reliable than others, but there is a spot for every single warp. Oh, okay, so Fricker activating a flute, tried to go for a spin speed technique there. Had to redo it, though, because he messed up. But gets it second try, so... So on a previous screen, you also saw some spin speed action there to get around what we call, lovingly, Usain Bolt, the fastest guard in Hyrule. That guy is a pain to deal with if you don't have spin speed. You know, a nice little hammer dash here to get to Dark World, and then we come into the Thieves Town dungeon. So Thieves Town, you do not want to get hit at all, because that will lose time on the health refill at the end of the dungeon after you kill the boss. So we want to try and react as best as we can to the enemy RNG in this dungeon. Looking at these runners' arrow counts and bomb counts, currently Fricker has 7 bombs and 6 arrows. He is above the required bomb count entering this dungeon, so he is good to skip at least one or two bombs down the stretch. Benteezy will have to hold on to his bombs best he can. He could probably skip 1 bomb, but you want to have 6 coming in here at least. You can opt to pick up a bomb later in this dungeon if you are low. Nice reaction to the RNG in that room. All right, here comes the Hellway. And Fricker pulls off the dash. So you can dash straight out of the doorway and line yourself up on the middle of that conveyor belt. And if you are lucky, and you, the enemies will be out of your way and you can dash straight through that room. Otherwise, that room is a pain to deal with. We'll see how it goes on Benteezy's side. Didn't get the pixel alignment. Only gets hit once. Oh, he gets hit twice. Didn't go so well for Ben. And we just saw it on Fricker's side. We'll see it again here on Ben's side. The attic, you want to drop a bomb immediately. And depending on the top left Cricket's movement, you want to either move out of the way or slash up and then pick the bomb up and throw. And then dash out of the room. And Ben executed it nicely. So Fricker actually opting to pick up that bomb, even though he was probably good to not pick it up. Probably just wants to play it safe. Dashing through the cellar. The jail cell. That is just to avoid getting hit by the blue horse head Zazax or Zyzax. All right, you'll be noticing on certain screens that they will not be moving at all out of the doorway and just dashing immediately. That's because we want to set up key dashes. Every 4 pixel. I mentioned this earlier in this race, but I didn't explain it. So every 4 pixels, you can dash straight into a key door and not bonk. Every other pixel that's not, multiple 4 pixels away from that doorway, you will bonk. So key dashing is just a way of preserving our speed through doorways and not bonking. You see both runners pick up that arrow pot in that room. That is not atypical for this low of an arrow count. Alright, so Blind, this guy is a scripted fight. You may have seen him kind of go down without any trouble at all on Fricker's side. Well, that's because we can set it up in such a way that we will make this fight go the exact same way every time. If we hit him immediately, the very first frame possible, we can hit him in the first phase, and we can set up the next phase to be hit in a certain way that will make the rest of the fight go pretty much the same. Alright, and you'll see both runners stand beneath the crystal to catch it in a certain spot, depending on where the boss dies. So if the boss dies generally at the top of the screen, you want to stand where the shadow of the crystal falling is kind of around Link's mouth or eyes. And if this boss dies at the bottom of the screen, then you want to stand where the shadow of the crystal is just below Link's feet. That is just to reduce the amount of time that the crystal rises right after catching it. Ooh, Fricker taking a hit there. You definitely want to keep as much health as you can manage for this upcoming segment, because the final boss can be a doozy. I'm sorry, the boss for the final boss. The boss of this next dungeon is a doozy sometimes. Alright, and so we have come down here to pick up some money and this frog here. So, frog will give us a tempered sword. We want to go fast, and it turns out this getting this sword actually will not only make it faster, but it makes it a little more consistent to deal with the end game. You actually do not need to pick this up, but the route is actually just faster with a sword. There is a different category, low percent legacy, where people, I mean, it's also low percent, but anyways, you do not pick up this sword upgrade, and you just go throughout the rest of the game on Master Sword. So dropping off our sword here with the smith. We got a transition 1 screen for them to be able to temper our sword. It's the final spin speed of the game, depending on who you are. Oh, Fricker didn't quite get it there. He actually missed it twice, so... Spin speed. It's a surprisingly difficult trick. I guess it's more finicky than anything. Alright, so... Right there, you saw Fricker not bonk on that fence. So if on that screen, if we tap left and A at the same time, we will not bonk on that fence when we dash upwards. Another surprisingly finicky trick. You're trying to go fast, and you try and press left and A at the same time as fast as you can, just so you don't waste too much time. I feel like I have a lot of trouble with that dash, honestly, so... I'm always reluctant to go for it and stuff. Alright, so upcoming here on Fricker's side, we have what some people call the worst room of the game. Mummy statue room. It looks like the RNG was nice for Fricker. He didn't have to do some extra sword slashes. You want to make this room as fast as you possibly can to avoid getting hit by a mummy. You want to kill the guys first. Then you want to kill the guys, throw the pot at the other jelly if he doesn't die. And pull the statue down, and then do what we call sexy statue, where we nudge the statue to the left or right, and we that makes Link's movement speed a little bit faster while he's pulling or pushing a statue. Right there, you saw Fricker go for actually missed it though. Did he do the early bomb jump there, or did he do a different bomb jump setup? Ooh, Benteezy getting knocked there by a Moldorm. These guys are so annoying. Oh, he gets hit twice. Alright, so Fricker's on his way to the back of Skullwoods. Alright, so good RNG from that Fire Snake. If he goes left, he can get in your way, and you just kind of want to wait it out. You want to be taking damage before this boss fight. Alright, Fricker going for the faster Mummy Hellway room strats. You dash immediately, and then Fire Rod. That is the optimal strat for that room. There's a different strat called Joe strats that at least I do. A little easier to perform, but that one is the optimal strat. Looks like Benteezy's also going for the optimal strat. Gets it nicely, so good job to both runners. Even the Fire Rod dash at the end, nice. Alright, here's Mothula. So what we're trying to do here is set up a double hit with a poke dash into Bonk for most. You can do without, you don't have to do with a bonk, but it is a lot easier to set up with a bonk, I think. And then we just need to, if you can get the double hit off, then we just need to slash him 2 more times and he's dead. It's a very quick fight. Looks like Ben got the double hit there with the different poke strat. Yeah. Looks like Fricker had a slightly faster fight than Ben, but not too bad. You can actually have a good sense of how fast the fight went if you see how many enemy spikes disappeared whenever Moth died. If you see no spikes disappear, then you do the fight pretty much as fast as you possibly can do it. And then just however many spikes from there is how much time you lost. So we're going to take the flute. We're going to flute on by our house, and you will not hear it on Fricker's side, but you will hear it on Benteezy's side. You're going to want to tap the flute button there right before you screen transition. That's going to set up something later called Spooky Action. No, sorry. It's going to actually... Spooky Action is going to be something later, but we get rid of Spooky Action by fluting there. Right there, you heard Benteezy use the flute there. So in the very first room of Ice Palace, the very first enemy we kill, it can be killed a lot faster if you get rid of the spooky, quote-unquote, spooky action by tapping the flute there. And that value is basically just shared between the position of the duck on the screen as he flies across and the area of effect damage of the fire rod. All right, so that screen that Benteezy's on right now, it's another one of those lotto spots. It is just up in the air whether you're going to get hit by that Ropa. So if you get hit, you lose 2 hearts, and it's sometimes hard to recover from that. I mean, this is another one of the dungeons where having beams really matters a lot. Benteezy going for the quick fish there. You can throw the rock just outside of the ring of rocks there and get the guy to spawn a little faster. And we got to dash through Zora's Domain to go pay off Mr. King Zora. 500 rupees to get some flippers to be able to beat the Swamp Dungeon. We actually don't even need them for ice, but we get them because we have to beat Swamp. So. And we got to dash out of this screen, going down and around. And then we will set up for the entry to Ice Palace. Alright, so this next screen on Fricker's side, you're going to see him pause buffer to fire and menu to fire rod, just to read the RNG to see what he needs to do with these crabs and the Zora. It looks like the crabs are out of his way and the Zora's out of his way, so he can try and swim. Okay, he didn't get hit. That's good. He managed to swim into that portal. Had to swim back a little bit, so not the cleanest movement, but he does get there unscathed. Let's see how it goes on Ben's side. It's a very early menu there. Oh, he goes around the left. Interesting. That is not going to be... sadly, due to that Zora spawn, he had to move a little slower there. Alright, so you see Benteezy throw that fire rod shot out immediately, just because the area effect of the fire rod will kill that free Zora immediately. Oh no, Fricker taking a hit there and losing a bomb as well. Thank goodness he had an extra one. He will get his heart back here at least, so that's good. Alright, here's the conveyor room. Didn't quite execute that bonk off the spikes, the damage boost off the spike properly, so he had to kind of improvise. Alright, here comes Ice Palace bomb jump. So what you want to do is dash turn by inputting a dash and then changing Link's direction during the dash startup. You want to do it right at the edge of that pit. And after you dash turn, you place a bomb immediately and then sword buffer down to a specific position. There's a couple positions that work. And you want to menu buffer to hammer. You want to menu to hammer after you see that you set yourself up properly. After that, you can immediately do a hammer dash to dash through to both those pots. That is the quick version of the Ice Palace bomb jump. Both runners look like they got penguin lineup room nicely. If you angle yourself properly, you can hit all 5 of those penguins in one sword spin. Night Runner doing stair clip there. If you if you do a sword spin into those stairs, you can clip through them at a certain angle and save a little bit of time. There's a chance. It's not really a chance. I guess it depends on your movement, but if your movement is off a little bit, you could actually take damage from it because you spit out the other side, and there's I guess, some weird spike there that damages you. Some spike texture. Cold Stare. Alright, nicely done from Fricker. So, you basically get rid of that initial shell immediately with 8 quick fire rod shots by walking closer and closer. And you line yourself with the top of the screen to get the ice to break at top. You can use the menu buffer to mirror anytime you want. Benteezy needs to be careful. Oh no! Oh, Cold Stare takes a victim. That is a big time loss there from Ben. And it looks like he might have just thrown the towel in. Yeah, he forfeit. Oh, I'm so sorry to see that, Ben. He had a pretty decent lineup there on Cold Stare, but if you're unlucky, sometimes the ice can knock you out of what you're doing. And that can throw the fight off, and if you're not prepared to deal with a Cold Stare party, then they will kill you. Alright, over on Fricker's side, Fricker looks like he opts to pick up the Ether Medallion before Swamp. And that is just so he has an easier time preserving sword beams for the Misery Mire dungeon. Fricker going for the immediate dash anti-fairy skip there. If you can bonk off of that, switch, you can immediately prepare a dash, and we'll dash straight off the switch. And you can menu buffer to the hammer there to avoid getting hit by the anti-fairy. Some good RNG there from the water skimmers. Did not have to do any cleanup. If those guys get out of the way, then you'll have to do some sword beaming to kill them. See how Fricker handles this room. Always got a bone to avoid. Oh, he takes a little hit there. Had to spend some extra time pushing the switch just because he got hit. That guy can be nasty. If he gets swung in the worst spot, he can throw a bone and it will hit you sometimes. Oh, getting bad RNG there. I think you can let go of your sword and not get hit by that guy. Doing the safe strat in that room, where you dash into both those dudes.
Of course.
Oh. Fricker was trying to preserve his health there, but did not get lucky there with that fire snake. Sometimes the enemy RNG is not kind to you in Swampin'. You want to have beams in case that RNG happens in a later room in this dungeon. It's like that Stalfos getting kind of in the way there, so he just opted to hammer him out of the way. You can slash him, but hammering works just as well, just a little bit slower, I think. Ooh, almost getting hit there. Moves out of the way just in time, not get hit. Optimal to do a hammer dash into that next room. Picks up that big key with a nice little chest turn. Get your chest turn emotes if you have them. So chest turns are more swag than anything, but depending on where you are, I guess it could save like 1 frame or something like that. They're annoying to execute though, so I wouldn't recommend doing them everywhere. There is one application of where they can be somewhat useful. In Aga Tower, in that dark room with the key chest, if you do a right chest turn, you can actually see where the top blue guard is, and you can react and adapt to what his movement pattern is, depending if you need to try and kill him or something like that. So there's one application of chest turning that actually has more than one use, just besides looking swag and saving 1 frame. Alright, so because of not having beams there, Fricker could not quickly deal with that red jelly, so he had to slash twice to get the timing right and wait for him to stop electrifying and dash through him. Alright, so Fricker had 2 bombs, so we did not need to pick up that bomb in that room. Does want to come out of here with at least 21 arrows, and that pot let him achieve that number, so good thinking to pick up that pot. 21 is just a good number to have coming out of here in general. You can have less, but you'll just have to make sure to pick up way more later, and that can lose you a little bit of time. Alright, so Argus, we want to do a item dash with the hook shot, and that will make it so that when our sword is held out, we will keep doing max, sword slash damage to the puffs while we hook them, and we can hook them continuously in such a way that we can get all of them killed before Argus has had time to do a spin cycle where he spins them all around his head. And that was called the Argus Quick Kill. And Fricker pulling it off nicely there, getting the phase 2 quick kill as well, and finishing off the fight. We are joined here in the interview booth by Benteezy. Sorry about that cold stare, dude.
Oh man, I predicted it a little bit.
Were you feeling a little nervous getting into it, or just you mentioned in chat you might have been a little annoyed at the enemy RNG?
I was nervous for sure. I haven't joined any type of tournament like Rando or NMG in quite some time. So I was definitely nervous, but yeah, I was also getting a little tilted. I felt like every regular enemy that could path into my way did path into my way that run, and like I knew I was behind, and because of the hammer jump fail, and I was like, "Can y'all please behave? Like, just get out of my way." And then I don't know if you saw the warp screen in Ice Palace Overworld where like I got the Zora in my way, so I tried to go up and over, but I messed up my dash, and then I got a different Zora in my way, and I'm like, this is just that's what this run has been the whole time.
I wonder what that was for, but I didn't think about going around the left if there's a Zora in your way. Yeah.
Well, if you do the strat correctly, that a second Zora never has time to spawn, but I messed up the dash across the top and like got stuck on the water. So I had to walk around again, and that gave the Zora time to spawn.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. Okay, gotcha. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. So that was just like I practiced cold stare for about 8 to 12 attempts right before this run too, because I have been having trouble with it recently, but unfortunately that wasn't enough. Rick has been playing great though.
Let's see here, like, in terms of what his splits say. I know this is not his PB that's on here, but like his splits say he's like 40 seconds behind his pace he's on.
Yeah, we were both on like low 125, mid 125 pace when I died. Which is pretty good considering he hasn't been playing and his D-Rush run was a 132. So
Oh man.
I was like, of course you 132 2 days ago, and then you just ace every split when you're racing me. Both our light worlds were pretty atrocious though. I don't know if he had any major hiccups, but my desert was a catastrophe.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what was it that happened in the desert for you. Oh yeah, you had to pick up extra hearts because you didn't want to die to Lamo, is that right?
Yeah, after having a bad Armos, so I had to pick up extra arrows too. And,
Yeah.
And I got hit by the red Igor, and I got hit by the cannonballs, and I got hit by the Beamos on the torch key, and I got hit by the Beamos at the Popo genocide. I just got hit every screen. I lost 15 seconds in desert. It was horrible. I picked up the wrong pot in the last room where you like dash up and get the small key and then key dash. Like I picked up the left pot thinking that was the heart, and it was the right pot. So.
Right. Okay. I saw you bonk on that key dash, but I wasn't sure why.
Yeah, I thought I was lined up with the torch, but I guess I wasn't.
Yeah, that's right. Shady brings a good point. You did have that 3-cycle Lamo, which did pull you back ahead of Mr. Fricker.
How many blue balls did he have, by the way? I was curious.
You know what? I wish I was paying better attention. I don't think he had much. I think you had like 4 or 5, but like
I had 3.
3, okay. He had like 1 or 2 then. He had less than you, I'm pretty sure.
But I had a really bad Aga Tower, so I wasn't sure if he passed me like an Aga Tower or if he passed me at blue balls. But yeah, I forfeited in the race room, so if he has the race room open, yeah, he saw it. He knows I'm not in the race anymore.
Okay.
He responded in the race room.
All right. Well, good showing nonetheless. Appreciated the YOLO strats are out the gate with no sync heart, no safety arrows in Eastern. I mean,
I never got those arrows.
I was to say you always skip those. I'm pretty sure, but I still appreciate the tenacity.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna skip sync heart if I had taken any damage in escape, but I came out of escape with full hearts.
Yeah, actually, Fricker actually came out with a heart and a half, and he still skipped sync heart.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that. I thought I was gonna have a stronger Dark World, but I don't know. I guess the nerves just got to me. This was a tough run to play. I felt warmed up, because I did a rando race right before this, but me and Fricker are like really, really, really close in skill level, and also I have learned like so much of what I know from this game from Fricker, so it's a little bit of like a respectful nervous, if that makes sense, like racing against one of the people that teaches you so much. Like anytime I do in Skullwoods, the small key before the back half, where you have to like stop and menu to the fire rod, and then you go up and get the small key.
Yes.
In the FMG tutorial, Fricker very adamantly says, don't dash down after that small key. He gets very upset when people dash down after that small key. So every time I pick up that small key, I think of Fricker. Every single time. Like, that's the kind of influence Fricker has had on me for this game. So it was really fun getting to race him. I wish I could have been a little bit more warmed up. But yeah, he should have no problem clutching this out now. That he knows I'm not in the race, because even if he dies or whatever, there's no pressure. So Should be smooth sailing for him the rest of the run here.
All right, glad you decided to go and curse him before we finished.
Oh, I hope he has a terrible time. I hope there's some kind of weird tiebreaker later, and I beat him on tiebreakers. That's all I hope.
And actually, all right.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you can feel free to stick around, or you can chill with me in the comm booth, or you can head
Yeah,
out.
I can hang out. I'm down. Talk about what Fricker's doing, running into his own bomb at Ice Rod Cave. I like it.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say he came out of here with out of Mire with 3 bombs. I've never seen someone come out of here with 3 bombs. Ooh, getting that. Oh, nice heart drop there. That's really nice RNG.
Oh, I don't have your feed for the game though, so I'm gonna be behind.
Oh, yeah. Let me direct you to that. Oh wait, you don't even have. Oh dang, you're not even shoot. There you go. Do you see that?
Yes. I'm pulling it up right now.
I don't know why I dashed that.
Oh, getting hit there by Dead Rock. They both kind of got in his way there, so wasn't much he can do about that, except try and avoid getting hit. But at that point, it probably just loses more time to avoid getting hit than just tanking it. I don't know. It's always up in the air. Getting that nice little quick warp there, the so-called free quick warp everyone always talks about.
Don't believe the airy roar lies. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not free.
Not free until it is. Oh, getting that quick dash. Love to see it.
Flag menu.
Yeah, if you do an item dash with a Quake Medallion there, and do a menu in a specific way, you can easily get a little spin speed there off of the Quake pedestal. I believe it's optimal by a small number of frames, but it's not by much.
Curious to see how on point his end game is going into this. I felt like if I just made it to the later stages of the run that I would have an advantage because I've been playing more recently than he has. But we'll see. Maybe he'll just go back to his his 124 levels of end game here.
Yeah, double slashing that red Stalfos so he doesn't throw a bone. Knock him. Okay, he hadn't even gotten the heart yet, so he just now got the heart off that pokey. Oh no, he got blocked by the chain chomp.
The chomps actually behaved, but he like greeted the Samaria block. He wanted it to be like as far away as possible. Gave the chomps a chance to come back.
Yeah, he can still wait. No, he's down 8 hearts. Never mind, he can't get back to full health.
No, he's gonna either need to slash the beetle or get magic somewhere.
Fricker opting to pick up that pot. I think with his arrow count, he could have skipped it and just gone for Mike arrows later, but he's probably just playing a little safer. Because Mike arrows fast is deceivingly difficult, I feel like.
Well, even if he had skipped it, the arrow pot on the bonk would have given him exactly 18, so he could have still gotten the chest after Armos if he wanted to.
Okay. You guys might play a little differently than I do. I like to be a little conservative and have more than I need earlier, I guess. Like, at this point, it's not worth for him to go pick up the Mike arrows and gain his tower, just because he'll have 23 and he'll only get a gain of 7. I feel like it's not worth it to pick those up.
You should still pick them up, because you need 8 for the mimics, so you'll have only 5 left over after Armos.
Okay, fair point.
And it's way faster than the back of Armos chest.
That's true. I did forget about the time investment.
So if it is a choice between the 2 chests, you want the first one for sure.
Okay, so if he is going to get those arrows, then he's going to pick up Mike arrows. Which, I guess at this point, he'll have to get one of the 2, because he won't have enough
gonna say that Samara placement seemed a little slow. I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it. Does he even have enough magic for another block? I hope he does.
Yeah, he should. But he won't have enough for the safe strat. Double pumping there on the Samari button. Yeah, if you have no magic, or not enough magic for a certain cast of some magic item, then you will get a text box. So gotta be careful when pumping that item button with a magic item.
I'm curious, what's his strat gonna be here for the Peg Maze, since he has no more magic for the Samari block?
It's true, yeah, he'll have to do something different.
Nice, fast laser skip.
Yeah, getting that laser skip there is pretty much necessary to do that room fast, since he doesn't have any Samaria magic left. Looks like he'll have to do a 2-pot strat here, I want to say. Yeah, he's gonna do the 2-pot.
Okay, not too slow.
Yeah, normally if you have magic with for a Samaria cast there, you can explode the Samaria block in such a way that it'll hit the switch just twice while you're either dashing or walking to the left, and it'll set the peg maze up nicely for you to do it easily. Ooh, early. I think he's a little early on his fire rod shot.
Nice, still didn't get a 2-cycle though, which is good. Was able to kill the head before it attacked again.
Right.
Whoa, what are you doing to the Trinex there, Fricker?
Okay.
Come on, this is a family-friendly show, Fricker.
It's the second time I've seen someone do something like that in like the last month and a half.
Not the worst TR, to be honest. I think if he hadn't had the hiccups on the overworld, it would have been a pretty good time. But I think the hiccups on the overworld with the dead rocks make it just about slightly slower than the splits he's comparing against right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the worst.
Wonder if that's like his. That's not average, is there? Just like some sort of balance?
I think this is an old PB that they use. Like I know Moogle used to compare against this run too. It was I want to say it was a run that had like either a really good light world and a really bad dark world, or vice versa, so that they could like constantly be ahead of it. I'm not sure exactly what was the thought process behind it, but I know him and Moogle both used to compare to this time. It was somebody's PB from somewhere, but yeah, it was just like really nice splits to run against.
I see.
My recollection of it. This is not nice to run against though. 706 GT. Unless he's comparing to Backcrash, maybe then it's okay. We'll see. We'll see if Rusty Fricker can bring out a 70X.
I can get a sub 7 even.
Okay, doesn't get Torch Key. That's a start. Spike skip. Ooh, this is looking bad. Yeah, he's not gonna get it.
He bailed on it.
He started holding down left a little too early. No, if this sheet
spike skip like once, I never go for it.
It's crazy how much time it saves in that room. It's I've had to like teach my brain that those seconds aren't that important in the grand scheme of GT because it's such a long dungeon. But it was frustrating for a while, like just failing spike skip and then being 3 seconds behind and just like, okay. It's not a 3 second like difference between doing it and not doing it, but like messing it up and then like going for it and messing it up is pretty bad versus not going for it at all.
Alright, so assuming what we talked about is right here, Fricker's going to pick these arrows up right here and then go for the Mike arrow chest here. Doing a little...
Nice. Gotta get the optimal bomb count.
Oh, he got hit. He's gonna get hit.
drained.
Oh no, he's
No,
not.
he didn't. 1 pixel away. Convenient.
Yeah. So what he's trying to do there is pick up that chest while the bomb is exploding, but he didn't quite get to it in time. Good quick kill there. If you line yourself with the bomb there and shoot 3 up, 2 left, and then shoot some more arrows a little bit later than you might expect, and then start shooting left the rest of the way. You can get a little quick kill and be right by the door.
What am I doing?
Don't think he realized he was on the bow already when he went for the menu, despite shooting the switch in the exact same room.
Oh boy, uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
You
Okay.
went through.
Nice, we got the arrow drop. Okay, good.
Yeah, you do want a few arrows for the gauntlet coming up here, just so that we have other ways to kill guys that get away if you can help it. And there's a couple strats you can employ with arrows too. See how the Gannonball Z goes.
Nice. Got one of the good
We are-
RNGs that you can just dash through.
Yeah, we are not a rando player today, even though I'm pretty sure Fricker's never played a rando seed in his life. Although I could be wrong. Going for the extra heart there, interesting. Doing an up slash.
Up slash school. I'm a pot thrower myself, can't lie. Nice RNG's there for him.
Oh, he didn't go for the safe strat there with the arrow. You can shoot an arrow there. If that guy walks a lot to the right, then he will die by the arrow. But if you don't shoot an arrow, then if he goes to the right, he will not die with your dash.
Nice.
Ha!
Not as nice. He's good though, so he has a lot of hearts, he's good on magic. Only thing that can really trip him up at this point is Moldorm. And then of course, obviously, Heka could be very not cooperative as usual, but we expect that of Aghanim, so...
Right, yeah. Alright, so how's this room go? No getting lottoed. That's good.
The last NMG tournament race I did ended in that room. I got frame rolled against Void. I got frame rolled in that room, and they actually killed me. Like, they hit me, they made me fall, and then they stabbed me while I was falling for like the 3-piece combo and killed me. That's when I was like, I'm done racing Link to the Past. That was 4 years ago, actually.
Oh, man.
But they brought me back. Sirius is doing some good work here. All the admins and stuff are doing some good work here. This should be a fun event to participate in. All the homies are here.
Yeah, it's nice to...
Unlucky.
Oh, good night.
All because he pressed the hook shot a little too early. That all stemmed from that. This game is so brutal sometimes. This game has just no respect for the player.
Fricker taking a big sigh of exasperation there.
This is bad.
Yeah, you're never too worried when you walk into a room with 8 hearts, but sometimes you still just get bullied.
Right, the trigonometry exam of how well can you react to these patterns.
Are you
gets hit
fucking
there.
joking me, dude?
No, he is not joking you at all, Mr. Fricker. Four cycle.
Not bad.
Yeah, those weren't the nicest patterns for sure. He got some decent setup there, but it is super tight sometimes to try and get the right angles on your sword slashes.
I'll get to see here if he was comparing to a back crash or not when the timer stops. Oh, he wasn't.
it's
He was
landing.
going. He was going for a juicy 706 with these ones.
Alright, so during the first two phases, Fricker cannot take a hit or else he will die and have to restart this fight. Doing good so far in phase 2 here. Now he's just had to play the bad avoidance game and he will be on his way. Right.
Nice.
Good deal.
I'm always worried when the cannon's on the far right and people don't commit to the dashes from the start. Because it always feels so tight, but he was able to get that last slash in before the cannon warped away.
Right. Alright, and then if the race was still ongoing and we would see dueling Ganons, might have seen some RNG difference there, but the Ganon warp patterns, there's a 50-50 chance whether he will warp or he will stay in place and do a fire ring attack, or if you hit him, he will get rid of part of the arena.
I like this. Just take it nice and slow. You just gotta finish the race up. No reason to risk it on weird cape spins or whatever.
Yeah, so you see you saw Fricker light that left torch there before the right one went out. That is called torch glitch, and that just makes the fight so much faster and easier to deal with. Because this fight can take like 2.5 minutes if you don't get torch glitch. It takes like a minute and a half to like minute 50 on average.
I wish that was my average. Can I have those averages? My average is like 2+. GG's again to Fricker. I said GG's in the race chat to him earlier.
Yeah, GG's to Fricker, finishing this race out with a 126.17. Low 126, not too bad. See, he had like one or two blue balls, like 5 or 6 Ganon warps. I'm trying to think what else might have gone down this run that have sticking points and stuff like that. 4 cycle Agatu. Had a slow Helma fight. He had to kind of deal with a very low to the floor Helma there. Helma rushed him to the bottom of the screen. He had a scary escape. He had to pick up an extra heart, so he would not die in the snake rooms. Yeah, other than that, he played pretty well for himself. Hey, and here he is in the interview booth. GG's, Fricker.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
GG's, gamer.
Yeah, it was a little rusty than I felt, but that's how she goes.
Way she goes.
Yeah. GG, Ben. Sorry you died to cold stare, man.
Yeah, it happens. I was pretty nervous because it's like I haven't done like a race like this in a really long time, and also we're kind of rusty because playing MMOs all day, not playing Zelda.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
So
the race must have been somewhat close because I feel like you forfeited right when I finished cold stare.
Yeah, you were slightly ahead of me. Like you were like a boss fight ahead of me, like from pod because I failed hammer jump. So like you were done with Helma as I was going in. You were done with blind as I was going in. You were done with cold stare as I was going in.
Gotcha.
And like I felt like I had some chances to catch up in the end game if anything happened to you, but once the death happened, I was like, oh, there goes everything. So I just threw in the towel there.
Cold stare is a tough death, man. Sorry. It happens though. You can have the best players at this game still die to cold stare.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were playing pretty solid for someone so rusty.
2 blue balls helped me make up a little bit of time in my terrible light world that I had, but
oh my god, don't even remind me about mine.
I lost like 20 some seconds because I was 2 rupees short before pod. And
Right,
then I
that's
panicked
why
and
I
I'm like, I don't know what to
passed
do.
Yeah, I was like, I remember like seeing you like slightly ahead of me at Aga, and then I was like, wait, we're really close again at Pod. What happened?
Yeah.
You were missing rupees.
Well, good thing I noticed, but I forgot the enemies that I could kill on the way to pod. So I killed the 2 most out of the way random enemies, and then as I was dashing to pod, I'm like, I should have killed these guys. They're right on the pathway. But I'm just rusty and I forgot, and at least I noticed before Kiki ran away, and then I would have really been down rupees. But
Yeah, there were some people chatting in the Twitch chat saying like there was a tree you could have pulled on the way. That would have been nice and quick. I actually don't know what tree that is either.
Also, what's impossible during a speedrun is math. Because as I'm going down Death Mountain, I'm like, okay, and then 80 plus 20. Okay, I only need 3 rupees. Like, wait a second. You can't math while speedrunning.
Can
It just
confirm.
doesn't work. Oh, man. Well, that kind of stinks. I was really hoping for a close race just because I know both of us are so close in PB and skill level, and we're both rusty, so it...
Yeah. It was working out till the cold stare death. We were pretty close to each other. It was anybody's game. But yeah, I had fun anyway. It was nice. It was nice to play a homie for the first race. Get to have a little bit more of a fun experience. I was telling everybody how like I learned so much of this game from you and from the FMG tut, and that every time I pick up that small key before the back of Skull Woods, that I always think about you yelling at people not to dash down out of that room. It's like I think of Fricker every time I get to Skull Woods. There's not a single day that I've been in Skull Woods that I don't think of Fricker. So it was fun getting to race you.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever raced before, so I was pretty excited for it. The legendary Benteezy.
Much less legend lately.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool beans. So I wanted to take a second to dissect the rupee count situation. So what happened was you came out of Hera with 7 rupees, and then you did not pick up that far right rupee on that first tree pull.
Yep.
You just did the typical 3 rupee pickup because that's usually what you're at when you're at that stage.
Right.
And then like you didn't notice that you were low on rupees until after, I guess, far into Aga Tower when you could have picked up that 5 pot in that dark room. But I just like it's just on the player to notice whenever they're low on rupees and just adapt. But
yeah, I didn't notice I was short 2 rupees until I was mashing the text on the pyramid after Egg&M. I'm like, oh boy, this will be fun. Because of course, like I said before, as I was coming down to the Lost Woods, I did math in my head, and it didn't work out well.
So you noticed there, and not at the text with the monkey when he's
Exactly.
like, "You don't have enough money," because that would have been a tragedy.
Never done that before. Oh, why did he run away? Oh.
Yeah. And you guys both had your share of troubles in the Eastern Palace as well. You both actually didn't have the best Armos fights.
My Armos was awful. Yeah, I just started using a new controller, and the buttons are mushy, and the D-pad is not the way I like it, so I kind of had some like weird inputs, and I don't know. Can't blame it on the controller runner, but it was my fault.
Nah, let's blame it on the controller. It's never our fault. We are not flawed as individuals, okay? It is always the hardware or the software.
Always the hardware.
Yeah. I think
I'm going to get out of here. But GG's again, Fricker.
Yeah,
thanks for doing this, Roken. Thanks for, obviously, the restream people and the people running the tournament.
Yeah, glad I could help out. Good to see you guys race each other. That was fun. See you later, Benteezy. Have a good one.
See you later.
Yeah, thank you for the restream and everybody watching and everyone putting the tournament together. I've been speedrunning this game for like 6 years, kind of off and on, so it's always fun to get together with the gaming nerds and have a little bit of fun on stream racing each other. So thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining this tournament and having a blast playing the game we all love. We've played this game for years on years, and it's just always a blast to come together. I was hoping for another NMG tournament, and it's been a year and a half since we had one, and I'm really glad this one's getting put on. And I can everyone can kind of showcase themselves and also have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. I look forward to the rest of the races, and good luck to Benteezy the rest of his races as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to you and you as well in your future races, Fricker.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. If you have any other closing thoughts, you say now, or you can head on out of here if you'd like.
I think I'm good. Thank
right.
you. Oh wait, actually, I got one thing. Rolling deep. Let's go, baby.
Oh. Something I'm sure I don't understand, but you know.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
All right. Later.
All right, thanks everyone. So I guess that's everything for this race tonight. There is another NMG race later on the SR between Splibby and Trinex at in 1 hour and 30 minutes, and a lot more to come, like Dante versus Parisian player tomorrow. But yeah, definitely come again if you want to see more NMG races. We'll raid the SR2 just after this. They are doing a Cross Keys tournament race right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, one more thing. Yeah, you mentioned Dante versus Parisian player. Yeah, definitely go watch my boy Dante play NMG. It'll be a good time tomorrow.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone, and thanks to Railkin for commentating this race. That was a blast. So yeah, see you later, guys. Bye.
Thanks for having me.